Welcome back, guys, to another episode. Again, I'm joined here by Travis and Talon, and I know that last one was a little bit heavy, but it's kind of the world we live in. But greater is He that lives in us than he that lives in the world. So we're going to, as Travis said, we're going to talk about Talon's life.
The story of Talon. Crazy.
There's been a road, dude. You've had to travel a little bit of a road.
It's been a journey.
Did you think it was even going to happen at some points? Did you question?
I question big time. It's just the craziness of life.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Yeah.
It's just you have this plan. You think this is gonna work out this way, but things don't always work out the way you plan.
Mm. No.
But, yeah. Where should we start?
Well, so Talon recently got a new job, a great job, great location, just about. Honestly, everything
I
you could even ask for, maybe better than you thought, maybe?
By far. From the trade I'm pursuing, most people have to move out of state, have to go relocate.
Mm-hmm. Thomas did.
A
lot of people do.
Johnny did, but no, Lord had a perfect plan and blessed me right here in the hometown.
Yeah.
So how did it, I don't know, I guess.
How did everything
no,
start?
Start from the okay, like you
Here's
graduated.
Travis with his...
You graduated high school.
There.
What was...
Well, let's first start...
What was the thing that caused you to look in this direction?
Yeah.
What did you do as you progressed to this point? What were you doing between that time frame, right? And were there any like specific scenarios or instances or circumstances that you can see now happen for that reason to get you to where you're at now? Does that make sense?
It's a lot to fill in, but I guess we'll just start, Well, through high school, like the dream to fly was always there.
Mm-hmm.
But you were flying for the ad company and went and flew with you a couple times, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely something I'm interested in, And still, like, I want to fly, but I knew it was just kind of a thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then flying with you and then the company laying you off, it just didn't work out that way. So I was questioning. I was like, okay, what am I going to do out of high school? And we all know PG&E. We all know power company. A lot of our families have worked there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So your brother Thomas, lineman, and I was like, okay, this is something I could get into. And at that time, little Johnny, Dustin, they were all looking into it as well. So we started talking about it.
How long ago was this, or what year was this?
This was
before COVID?
Yeah, so I was 18. What year was that? 2019?
You're asking the wrong person.
I know, I think 2019.
Okay.
I started looking, and we're like, all right, Johnny signed up first to NLC, which is a lineman college here in California, in Orville. And they have a campus in Idaho, Texas, and I think one other state. But I was definitely interested in it, and then started talking to Thomas about it, talked to Johnny, and we're like, okay. I'm like, this is something I want to pursue. So signed up for NLC, and COVID hit in 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hit. In that semester, they canceled it, the one I signed up for.
Was it January or something?
I think it was the early one, yeah,
Okay.
January. It was like the first one. So they're like, I was like, okay. They're like, we're going to figure out what we're going to do, the processes. So little Johnny actually went that next semester after they canceled that one. And
so he didn't start either.
He didn't start either. So he went to that one, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit, see how it goes for him, because he had to do online classes, this whole process. So he went through it. He's like, yeah, the only thing they did different was you had to wear a mask, you had to keep so much distance from each guy, and they did online classes. So I signed up that following year, which was 2019-2020. I signed up for, and went to NLC, did the 15-week program. And prior to that, Johnny came home, and he had all this climbing stuff. He's like, hey, you want to go climb a pole with me? Since I was interested in it. So strapped everything on, and the first, 5 feet up that pole, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't supposed to be climbing, but we only went up so high. So I think I spent probably 2 hours just going up and down, practicing. I was like, okay, this is something definitely I can definitely get interested into. And then prior to that, I've been working for a construction crew through high school.
Right.
So I always knew I wanted to work outside. I knew I didn't want to spend time in an office. So after graduating LC, I was like, okay, during NLC, they make it sound like, okay, you're going to have all these job opportunities when you go through it. And just being honest, that's not how it is. We applied through the whole time through school, and none of us got anything. A couple guys got something out of state. They were applying out of state. They got a couple job offers, but me, I didn't get nothing. And I was like, okay, do I really want to move out of state? I'm going to have to eventually maybe, or do I stay in California? So I was like, all right, I know I want to work for PG&E. I don't want to work out. I want to stay home. So I'm like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get on here. So been applying for now, what's it been, 4 years? Yeah, process of 4 years. But in that meantime, I started working for an electrical company as a apprentice electrician. Started guiding. Went to guide when I was 18. From 18 to so as I was going through NLC, I was actually guiding again, working. But from 18 till now, I've been a guide in Wyoming, guiding mule deer and elk hunts, and also an assistant guide in Alaska for dull sheep, bear, and mountain goats. So kind of that's what I've been doing between the meantime, off and on different jobs, working as electrician, construction, pool guy for a few months, so cleaning pools. But yeah, it's been a journey, but just kept applying, kept getting it. Didn't get nothing for a long time, and then just April, they opened 3 positions here in Merced, Los Banos, and Madera. I applied for them, and luckily we have a couple friends that knew the supervisor from Merced, and they mentioned my name, and he pulled it, went in and interviewed.
In person.
And
got to shake hands.
Did you
give him a nice firm handshake?
I did.
Now, you did interview a job before that, right?
I did. Prior to that. I actually forgot about that.
How long ago was that?
That was 2 years ago.
It's 2 years, right?
It's been 2 years.
So that was...
It took 2 years to actually get an interview, and I interviewed with Tom's. It was Thompson's foreman.
And you thought you were going to get that one.
I thought I was going to get it.
Well, they ever did.
Everybody thought I was going to get it. The supervisor called Thomas and said, hey, can you approve of this kid? He's our number 1 pick. Thomas was like, yeah, I approve of him. He's like, okay, I'll be calling you in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I think it was 6th week. Somehow Thomas got a hold of him. He's like, what happened? And he was like, man, I haven't had the heart to call you guys. He's like, we were going to hire Talon, and they put a bid back in the company. 2 guys, Eternal took it.
Yeah, an internal guy.
Internal guy took it.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I thought I was getting that job a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
That has to be really tough, right? Because you're working towards something. You have a goal, right? And then it looks like it's going to happen. You're like, you can almost taste it, right? And then it doesn't happen. That's got to be really disheartening, discouraging, I would think.
Especially when you think you're going to get it.
Yeah, that's...
Yes.
It's almost it's like 99% you're going to get the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be tough.
That's heartbreaking. Then because you're trying to see the reasoning for it. You're trying to understand it.
And that was Merced location, but it was for GC, which there's GC and Division and PG&E, which either one's great, but...
One's gone all the time.
One's gone. Yeah, you're always on bigger projects.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't gripe if I would have got that one.
Right.
Just knowing, I was like, okay, it's been 2 years. I'm finally getting this opportunity. Okay, it's going to happen. And then it didn't happen. And it's like you question. You're like, okay, is this really what I'm meant to do? Is this what I'm supposed to do? At least in me, I was like, okay, God, is this what you have planned for my life? Because it's taken this much time. And I was like, okay. But I knew when I went through the school and knew all that, I knew that's what I'm supposed to do. So just stayed persistent and kept applying. And took an additional 2 years and finally got another interview.
Which feels like a lifetime.
Which is
it's small in the scope of things.
Yeah, and I could talk about the whole dad thing, like you know what I'm saying, because you're looking at and I don't know, you'll experience this probably not so much with your daughters, because I guess a son in some respects is a little bit different. But you want something so bad for your kids, right? You want to see them achieve their goals, their dreams. You want them to be successful. You know, you want them to be independent, right? And I think that Talon guiding and stuff like that made him independent, right? Experiences that I didn't have as a kid, right? Or you probably didn't. I don't know how everything that you experience. But I mean, you see somebody that's 18, 19 years old out there, you're out in the wilderness, and you want to follow that person around, and they're going to be responsible for your safety and, your care. I mean, how do you train for that?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the brief of what's happened. But like through the years, I can see where time's grown. I've grown with people, with how to deal with things. Because, I mean, if I would have graduated at 19 and went straight into the trade, I don't know what would have happened. Because felt like I had the whole world by the handle.
Mm-hmm.
But now looking back on that, it's like, okay, you were just a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But no, God had perfect plan for me
better,
to grow.
Better than you thought.
Better than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. You question, okay, God, is this what I'm supposed to do? Is this a time? But He has a perfect time. And that's, inside of me, I've had to grow in trust because I've doubted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, what's going to happen? But you can see it through the years, working electrical, learned how to work with guys, work with the crew, guiding, learn how to interact with people, how to deal with situations, because as a guide, you're dealing with multiple different personalities, multiple different people, and from different walks of life. Different walks of life,
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. So having that ability to learn to adjust and deal with people, that's applied to me. I've had to apply that to my life, and then just grow. Time will grow you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a big how old are you now? You're
23.
23?
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's a huge, as you know now,
yeah.
And I remember thinking this at 22, 23, the growth from 19 to 23 or 18 to 22, whatever, somewhere in there, is an unbelievable mental growth.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a big change, right?
It's weird because, you growing up as a 10, 11, 12, 13, all that, yeah, that's big growths, but it's not so much mentally as it is from that. Because I think, like you said, because you do think you got things figured out.
Yeah.
And then you get the other end, you're like, no, I didn't.
You didn't.
and you always grow for the rest of our lives. We're always growing, right? But like that significant change has never been the same since. I'm always getting smarter and wiser, Lord willing, I hope. But I'm never thought again the rest of my life from 23 to 27 was a big change. It's not, to me, it's not. Yeah. Other than getting married, having kids, that's in its own bracket. But the mental, how you think things out, you said, is that window right there.
It's that small window right there. That's where I've had you can definitely tell the most growth.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
And you'll probably say that the rest of your life, like that's the window. You'll probably think that, and it's interesting. Yeah. It's funny hearing you say that because I've said that for long. I've thought that forever, and I've talked to a lot of people because like who you're likened to, like say relationship wise, say a girl or a girl liking a guy. It's almost dangerous. Not saying people do it all the time, but people that get married when they're like really young, like 18, 19, it could go either way later because of your thought process at that time, right? Yeah. It really could. So.
Your brain's still in the developmental stage.
They say it is.
Final developmental stage,
it is. Yeah. It is. It really is, actually. I don't know what. I think it's around that time it's developed.
Because like 19, you feel like you're just becoming a man, and then from that 20, 21 to 22, you mature so much.
Yeah, drastically.
Well,
hopefully you mature.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, at least some people don't. Maybe that part of the development hasn't closed off for some people.
Yeah.
So
the soft spot in your head's just closing up.
So on your what do they call that? Your description of your job. Have you looked back at that since you've applied and like looked at what you'll be doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a basic.
What does it say?
So that I'll be on the ground rigging, construction. It's a basic level position right now because what PG&E is trying to do is line work has gotten extremely popular the past few years, and NLC's grown huge. There's different line schools that have grown, and there's a high demand for linemen, but there's a lot of people they have to go through. And PG&E, for a while, they were giving apprenticeships out, and they were getting all these guys coming in and start the job. Well, after 3 or 4 months, they didn't want to be there because this trade's not easy. It takes a lot of time, commitment, and you have to be dedicated to this position because it's tough. It's extremely tough. But what was happening is they would hire these guys. They'd come in, they'd start their apprenticeship, and they'd back out. They wouldn't show up. They wouldn't want to work OT. So PG&E changed their protocol and not offer apprenticeships anymore. So right now what they're requiring is you go into these basic, they offer an electric utility worker, electric line assistant, and groundman, which is, they're pretty much the same thing. You're a groundman. And it's a 6-month probation. You go through that. If the crew and the supervisor know you want to be there and stay, they're going to put you into an apprenticeship, and you can start your apprenticeship.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's automatic then?
Not automatic. 6 months is the minimum. It can be 6 months. No matter what, if you're there for 2 years, you're going to an apprenticeship after 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if you survive the 2 years as a groundman, they'll put you into an apprenticeship.
Then in reality, it's better for them to get you started on your apprenticeship sooner than later. Then there's no I don't see why that would be good for them to drag it to 2 years.
It's really not.
Unless they're not allowed to hire for that position,
or you don't have somebody that's learning that's workable with them in that team, right?
Yeah.
You know, that can be that piece of the puzzle that makes the whole thing work. You know, I could see why they would delay because of that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I think I feel like
that's good to know. I didn't know that. That's nice that you at least go into it having that timeline in your head, like worst case, 2
which
years.
is a great. I mean, it
Dude,
makes sense. So
it's
the
safer
progression,
too, probably.
right? Yeah, because
that's the thing.
you're learning everything on the ground.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing with you, Talon, where you're at, like you said, you could do your whole career there.
Yeah.
And maybe when that being said, when I say career, not as a electric line assistant, but it's not like, oh man, this is really going to throw off my future plans because I want to go over here and do this in 5 years. Whereas you're just, this is where you want to be as of right now. So close to home, amazing job, great benefits, line assistant, apprenticeship, journeyman, team-man.
Yeah.
You're retired. Or you're in a retirement position, and so it's like, what does it matter if it takes 20 years? You're 23, you'll only be 43.
Yeah,
it could happen like Thomas in 10 years, or actually like 7 or 8 for him. But it's all timing. But I'm just saying, regardless, it doesn't. Even if you waited 2 years to get to the apprentice, who cares?
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's learning.
Yeah,
and that's like I've listened to multiple podcasts, and guys say they're like, if we could have spent 2 or 3 years of our apprenticeship on the ground, they go, we would have. Because that is the most important position on the job, is knowing the ground. Because when you go up there, you know what you need, and you can speak to your groundman what they need, or your apprentice once you top out.
But if you don't know what you need when you're up there,
if you don't know, and that's little Johnny, he had a little difficulties at first when he first got hired on his apprenticeship because he didn't know nothing, and it was challenging for him to go there. In the yard he got hired at, they work a lot of overtime, they work a lot of hours. And him not knowing it was a challenge for him to learn it on the job. And, I mean, he got a little razz on it because he didn't know.
At least having to learn on the fly.
So, like, what equipment? Well, why wouldn't you have to learn on the fly?
Well, I would. But right now what I'm seeing this job as, with the time frame, is 6 months of learning. And not having that pressure as an apprentice right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
So, getting to know the ground, getting to know the material.
They'll pick on you, probably.
Oh, yeah. I'm still going to it's still going to happen.
Is there going to be other apprentices there?
There'll be apprentices there.
So in other words, they're almost going to be a little bit more focused on them.
A little bit, yeah.
And you'll have, like you said, you'll have all that time to learn. When you step in that, you're already way ahead.
6 months of learning, and then apply that once I do get my apprenticeship. I've got that much more ahead of somebody that didn't. So, yeah. Which I'm praying it's 6 months. If it takes longer, so be it. But
well, yeah, right. I mean, the sooner you can start, the better. But at the same time, I mean, you know, there's a hard time.
Yeah,
it's hard for all of us. You've talked about 1,000 times in my own life, your own life, and then yours too. Now, is not the knowing. The not knowing is so hard because, like you said, you got to learn to trust.
Yeah.
So, like the fact that you do at least have a hard stop line, that's something.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool though. I like that. That's awesome.
So,
man, I know. I mean, you've talked on the phone several times. It's like I've had really good jobs. I've had good paying jobs and all that stuff, even better than I am now. But I am so thankful for this job, and I love the job. Okay, there's a lot. So we all can nitpick and we can say, well, they do this and they support this, and it's like, I know, I get that, but everywhere I've worked does. And the thing is, what I love this so much is what it's made for me and my family. It's allowed me to be at church consistently. It's allowed me to be with my family consistently.
Time, right?
It's allowed me to sleep at my house every night.
Time. The time that is your time.
Yes.
Right, that you can use at your discretion the way you want to use it.
Mm-hmm. And I thank God for all my experiences. In fact, I think
they
one
make you
day
who you are, right? There's
Yes.
a reason for them. They make you who you are,
and I'll look back and be like so proud of those things that I've got to be a part of and lives to touch.
Appreciation too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you appreciate more where you're at now.
Yeah, I mean, I thought
because of what you
I thought I didn't have to wait till I'm 40 to appreciate it, but maybe the Lord saw fit somehow. I need to. I don't know, but it does. It no matter when it happens, you're always you just appreciate more. So it's like, I guess I'm just so happy because I tried so hard. I know you tried hard.
Yeah.
You tried hard. I remember you talking about when you were stressing Iron Hall and, man, I hope I get this, you know?
Yeah, personally, I was at a point in my life where I had pretty much did what I was doing for 19, 20 years, was pretty much maxed out on how much money I could make. And I had hit you know what I'm saying? And it was as far as I could go.
Right.
At
a younger age.
Yeah. What do you do then?
Right.
Not really at a younger.
Well, I mean, say you're 40. Let's say if you're 40.
Yeah.
You can't go any higher than you are at 40.
That's tough. Yeah. At 40,
you still got 20, 25 years of work, right? Like
exactly.
And
so that's why I knew I had to do something else, you know, and
right.
Looked at different options or whatever, and like what can actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it was scary.
Yeah.
Because with the hiring hall, they could let you go at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always that factor, and 3 kids and a wife, you know, mortgage, all that stuff, you know, life.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But you take a step and like, God, if you want to open those doors, I'll walk through them. And it's always easy in retrospect to look back on your life and see why things happened or, you know, how God was moving in that instance. Like you said, the unknown, looking ahead, that's the hard part, right? Knowing that, yeah, my life's in God's hands and He can provide. But like we talked about, the when.
Right.
When is that door going to open? And so that's the hard part is learning to have faith and trust in the process. You know, that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord, right? And knowing that He's not going to put you in a situation that you can't handle. There's always a reason for it, right? I think if Talon would have got that, this is just me personally, if he would have got that first job, maybe he wouldn't have appreciated it as much. Would he have done as good a job? I think so. He's a hard worker and learns fast, right? I think he would have done just as good a job. But I think if it helped him grow spiritually, right, more of a trust, more of a faith that God is working, that God does have it in control and has a timing, you know, who knows? But it happened for a reason.
For
and
sure.
I think, and then the longer he lives, I think he's going to look back and it's like, okay, that's why it happened, right? There's going to be more of an understanding.
We all
like,
have.
Yeah, it's like, this is why it happened.
Well, too, thinking about it, no matter how much we love this job, I'm glad to be part of it and be an employee of it. We all have something that we can fall back on, right? Like if you had to. Because I don't feel like I should ever have all my eggs in one basket.
No, yeah.
And then like, if something did happen, what am I going to do now? Because there's some people that have that. They don't have like they don't really have a trade they could fall on. So even for you, like you have multiple things that you could fall on and take care of your family if you ever had to, God forbid that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that window of time that you've waited has allowed you to have that.
Have it.
So... I mean, and like you have it, I have it. So that's comforting too, because it'd be nervous if all your eggs were on the PG&E basket and you're like, if this falls apart, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
And most of our guys do, right? Like most of the guys have plenty of
skill
set. But so like, okay, so back to this position. You're starting Monday. It's cool.
Monday.
And I just went ahead. I'm only ahead of you by what? It's funny. It was Paul David. Within the less than a year, it's been Paul David. And then like 4 months later, it was Matt. 2 weeks later it was me,
Yep.
and then 5 months later it was you.
Yeah.
So we're all on that.
That frame.
We're PG&E babies. Some of us are a little more developed than others as babies, I would say. But Talon's the young
I'm
buck.
the
We're all old men, dude.
Newborn.
Starting, yeah.
I'm being birthed on Monday.
So, like, I know you don't really know yet, but
Yeah.
what in your head, what do you think you're going to be doing? Like, are you putting, like, if guys up the pole or what? I mean, I don't even know how to talk through this, but, like, are you going to be putting stuff together on the ground and centered up? Like,
No, I'll be.
and you just need. So, what is, like, when you were talking about Johnny? Like, are you saying like he didn't maybe know the names of some of the equipment,
some of the material, and then how to construct it all? Because PG&E has their
you
own
gotta put it
stuff.
together.
You have to.
So you got to put it together on the ground, then
construct it, and then him. There was so much work that he had to be so much more advanced when he first started than most
which
guys.
is unfair, really.
Which is unfair.
Yeah, but
they were expecting him to be on the pole, knowing exactly what to do. And in your apprenticeship, most apprentices they don't even go up to the pole till their second year.
he was already going up.
He was
right
already
away.
going up right away.
Really? Wow.
So
because they had the need.
they had the need for
Wow.
it. So it was challenging for him. But as far as my position, what I think's gonna happen, of course things are gonna change. But get to the yard. You know what your job is. My job's gonna be to whatever the lineman, whatever the apprentice needs. I'll be on the ground, sending it up to him, constructing the pole, digging the holes, sweeping the roads. So
Sweeping the roads. What do you mean? Like
whatever clean up. You know what I'm saying? I'm the basic guy. I'm the basic entry, the lower. I'm the guy on the totem pole. Low guy on the totem pole. So whatever.
But like you were saying earlier, it's like it almost puts no pressure on you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the pressure you have because you want to hustle and be like looked at favorably.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, you can do all that stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be new stuff, but it's not like you said.
It's not something
you walk in there and climbing the pole right for day one.
Exactly. And I'm putting up this transformer. I'm hooking all this up. And,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's
Look outside.
Sunny.
Blue skies.
Sunny, dude.
Crazy.
Look at literally.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's gone.
What in the world? I seen the sun, but I didn't look up in the sky.
That's why I see the brightness, and I looked at the sky, and I'm like, "Where's all the clouds?"
This might be the first time the accurate reading on the
weather was right.
They said from well, they were a little late. They said 3 to 6 it was supposed to be downpouring. Which it started at 1?
Yeah,
1, and it just got sunny at 5:27.
I mean, there's not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah,
it was dark and pouring.
Dark and pouring, boys. Wow.
Yeah.
So putting that stuff together, putting the packages, or I'm saying package, but putting that stuff together and
whatever the grunt.
Yeah,
that's what I am.
Yeah.
So
a well-paid grunt.
Well-paid grunt. Exactly.
With the full bennies.
Exactly.
Well, okay. So how does that work? I can't remember. I was in a different position getting hired, so I didn't work. It's not the same as most people, but you get benefits right out the gate, right? Or at 6 months, there's something. How's that work?
Well, I don't know. I had a 6-month probation.
Right, but did you have all your health and medical?
Yeah, that started right away.
Right?
Yeah.
So really, the only thing
day one,
there's only something you don't.
Vacation, I think.
You're accruing it, but you can't use it till after
like
probation.
That.
I think that's
something
what
like that. Yeah.
And then the PG, which you're not on your own PG&E bill, but like you get that, stuff like that. Yeah. But retirement, there's probably building accruing too, but they don't really. What's that called when it's solidified? I can't remember the word.
He won't be on my insurance anymore.
Yeah.
Is that going to save you?
No, I don't think so.
It probably won't even save you nothing, huh?
I don't think so.
Yeah. That's like on the benefits and all that. They said like within 30 years of employment, I can register for all of it, all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, which most of that's all after I start my first day. Mm-hmm. So, we'll get all that checked out.
And then, like he said, all your WBTs.
Yeah.
Web-based training.
Web-based training. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. This first week, I don't know how it's going to go because I don't have none of my stuff.
That's what I mean. So I'm wondering if you're going to be more office.
Yeah, like computers sitting there watching stuff, probably.
Yeah. Who cares? Enjoy it because it ain't going to last.
That's what I tell people. Like, you don't realize it at the time, right?
You were telling me that.
Watching all this stuff, and then like, it's a process, right? They want you to watch all this stuff. Safety, how they conduct business, just different things.
Driving.
Yes. And it's like, enjoy the process because
I think what's hard to enjoy, it's easy for me and you to say that, and you were telling me that, and I remember you, when you were doing it your first, you were like, I don't feel like I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
I remember that. But it's easy, it's still, no matter what we tell Talon, he's not going to, you just don't until you go through it,
Yeah.
because you're like,
You feel like you're not doing anything. Like
Yeah.
they're paying me to sit here and watch this thing, and I don't know what I'm doing right now.
yeah, but you're just going through that process. You just got to go through, because they ain't going to make you do that on your own time.
No.
So it's got to be sometime during the day,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah, that's cool, man.
I'm
Congratulations.
stoked, man. No, thank
I'm
you.
happy for you, man. Beyond measure. I know
Yeah.
Papa Bear is.
Yeah,
Mama Bear. Is Taylor happy for you?
I think so. Yeah, she's happy for a couple reasons. Yeah, yeah. But no, stoked. No, and I appreciate all the prayers,
Yeah,
man. No, definitely somebody.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
I did put the time in.
You put the time in prayer for me. Yeah, and you too, Dad, Mom. It's been a journey, but no, I'm stoked.
Yeah,
Super stoked to start
It's
this
cool,
new
dude.
chapter.
yeah. I'm
So-
Yeah,
super
and
proud.
while he's working, I'll be up there looking for his deer.
Yeah. Sorry. I've had a lot of fun from 18 to now, so I can't gripe. You know
I
what I'm
know,
saying?
dude. Yeah,
You got to experience some stuff like that most people don't experience in their whole life. You
I
know?
haven't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Crazy.
let's see Alaska. And
It's crazy.
Now I bet you're really glad you did that.
I am. Even though I know I could have probably went and worked sooner
Mhm.
out of state doing all that, but no, I. Super,
Well, now that you know it worked out like it did, it's like,
yeah, I'm
why do it any other way?
Yeah, no, I'm grateful for the opportunities I've had. I mean, like I said, Wyoming, Alaska. Who gets to do that at my age? Been super
Not for me.
fortunate. Super.
I bet you Barney's crying the tears, huh?
He's
He
a little
listens to this.
upset. Yeah, but
Barney
he
knows-
knows I'll be back in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. There's gonna be a period of time, especially right now, the beginning. I'm gonna have to be dedicated for
Yeah.
till I journeyman out, but I'm ready for it though. So
That's cool too, dude.
yeah,
Because this job is so good for that too. Like the vacation they give you and how they take care of you. Like you said, that's not over.
no, it's not.
it
That's
is.
cool.
It is for a period of time.
Huh?
It's over for him.
You don't think he'll
Yeah.
go back?
Why?
What do you mean? Why would he not take a week off? Marriage? It is, huh?
Yo, say it's over.
It is actually. It is over, Talon. Unless you
over.
don't marry till you're 30, he's right. Because wife, kids, it's over.
Things change.
We'll be lucky to have him with us in Washington, duck hunting or something, or Idaho, just going on a little trip.
That's the thing. It's like, yeah, like this company is so good about vacation. So even in my apprenticeship, I'll be building vacation time.
Yeah.
So Washington's not out.
No, it's not. That's totally
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about the gang. Like, I know I always want to go back to it, but we'll have to see. Time
Yeah.
will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Boy, a lot of things can happen quick.
Yeah. Hopefully, the guys I guide with are guiding me on the hunts.
Yeah.
Here in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right. True. That's something to think about
that's
too.
what I'm hoping for.
That'd be sick.
I've taken a lot of people out, and I still love taking people out. But
It would be cool to go
it'd be cool to get.
with Barney or Johnny and
Yeah.
you be the shooter.
Yeah. Or get this guy on some
Yeah.
hunts he's been dreaming about with out of state duck hunts.
Hmm.
Something.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah,
We're blessed.
for sure.
Yeah, it's an exciting period of life, you know.
Hmm.
It's just it goes by quick. You gotta enjoy the process.
Hmm.
That's what you've said this whole time.
You gotta enjoy it. Life goes by so fast. It's just like,
I don't know.
you know, you always look ahead like, oh, when I get here, when you get here, when you get here. Well, don't waste all that time getting to there. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste those days
Yeah.
or take them for granted or not appreciate them.
Yeah. I mean, my own kids grow fast enough, and it's hard for me to fathom. But like even watching you guys, like Talon told me the other day when she turned 20, I was like, wait, you're 20?
Yeah.
And not that I don't think she's acts 20 or
Yes.
is 20. It's just
That time went so fast.
it's something with my age now is these younger guys and girls that I look at them, they're always 2 or 3 years younger in my head
Yeah.
than they are, not because of looks or because of maturity. It's just
How old's Vivian?
It's like I get
I think of
stuck.
Vivian, she's 12.
she's 15.
Yeah.
Violet's
You
12.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think in Vivian's Violet's age and Violet's. you
Yeah,
know,
because it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I mean, here's the thing. Do you realize camp meeting's next month?
crazy.
How's that even possible?
Yeah.
Does this fly to you, or is that just me, my
No,
age?
it flies. That's
No, I'm like, that's next month.
yeah.
I thought we just got done with that like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
I know.
And every year, I think maybe that was just that year. Maybe that year flew, and every year that's faster the next year.
It is.
And the older you get, the faster it gets. I was talking to almost a 90-year-old gentleman in the gas or the grocery store. I said, I have a question. I don't even know why I asked him. He might have started a conversation with me. I said, I got a question for you. Just out of curiosity, I said, at the time I was like 39. I said, time, like 1 year feels like 4 months to me. What does it feel like to you? Does it get faster? And he said that it was like he had already thought of this. And he's like, 1 year is like 1 month to me, or 2 weeks or something. I was like, oh my goodness.
Somebody explained it to me the other day, and I won't repeat it correctly. But they say what it is because of your accumulation of experiences somehow enhance the speed of time. Because
Really?
you have all these experiences, right? Every year you get more experiences. And somehow that transitions into like speeding up time some way. It's really weird. It's a really weird.
That kind of, I don't like fully understand, but
Yeah,
I'm like, I almost think I could think of what, like I can almost understand that.
Yeah. Because when you're little, right, you only have limited experiences.
Right.
And you don't have these.
And you have a very simple life.
Yeah.
You have a simple life. You don't have very many experiences, right?
School, church.
You have this
that-
little, you have this little routine, right?
Every day's the same and it drags out.
Yeah.
But we have all these experiences and things that are happening, everything around us, right? And it's all just like, tons of information, so it speeds up the time from you. You don't have these segments of where nothing's happening as much.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. I always have to remind myself, you've told me this, we've told each other this, and you were just saying, you told Talon, enjoy the process. It's like, really, we do. We all have to do that. I had to do that. I mean, if you got to put a note on your glass or mirror in the morning to look and remind yourself, like, enjoy this day, enjoy this process, whatever it is, even if it's rough and it's resistance that you're facing that day. It's like, I know it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But like, man, that's all part of what makes me who I am. And it's all.
Yeah. If you didn't have rough times or anything like that, then you wouldn't enjoy the good times as much, right?
Yeah.
Or be thankful for them as much. If everything was like super smooth and that's all you knew, right?
You wouldn't
That
appreciate
might be kind of boring after a while,
Yeah.
But if you have to like fight through something and face something, resistance builds growth in anything, right?
Well, and I told Talon, I said, I was so shocked. I've never been at any job function where it's like the first day, the initial day, whatever. I was telling him my first day, and maybe this is my age that made me realize this. And now that I told you this, maybe you'll, when you go on Monday, see if you notice that.
Yeah.
See if you notice how excited everyone is to be there. I don't know if you remember that or noticed that. Dude, when I went in there, I got there 30
I
minutes.
didn't go to the orientation.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious. Let me know. But when I got there, Matt told me when he went, he said, and that was 2 weeks before me, he said there was like 200 people in there.
Wow.
When I was there, it was like 80. But it was getting close to Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So I think that might have had something to do with it, right? Hiring slows down. But I walk in there, I'm 30 minutes early, and I thought that was fine. I walked in, that place was full. So I was like, wow, okay. And I knew I wasn't late. I just thought, these people want to be here, right?
Yes.
So I walk in, I'm looking for a seat, and I see this group table. It's mostly guys. I would say there's probably like 20% women there, maybe 25%, something like that, maybe a little more. So I find this round table. I think there's like 6 of us at each table with about, let's say, 80 or 90 people there, right? So quite a bit. And you could feel it in the room that everybody was absolutely stoked to be there.
Yeah.
I've never been anywhere, dude, where people... I've been in a room full of pilots.
Yeah.
Where there's 20 pilots in there, helicopter pilots, and some fixed wing guys. I'm not saying they're all bummed and bad attitudes, but it was just like, this was different, dude. You could feel the vibe. You could feel it.
Yeah.
And I know why, because those people tried so hard to get on there, because it was, most of them did not just get right on. Most of them I put in 143 applications. I tried for like 4 or 5 years. I'm not saying as hard as I did at other times. Maybe I kind of let it go, but really, to be honest, I've been putting in there for years ago. I was putting in the first application. So it's like, I tried hard. I wanted to be here. Like, no one can convince me. I was happy to be here. And everybody was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I sat down at my table, I was like, everybody was so nice and like, I'm so we're going around shaking hands. I'm like, oh, what'd you do? Everybody was asking each other what we did. Dude, Oakland cop, he wanted to get out of that. He'd been doing it for a long time. The other guy was he had his own construction business. Like the other guy was, what was that other guy? He did something. It was all like upstanding good jobs. And if I didn't know any better, and I told him what I did, right? If I didn't know any better, I'd be like, well, why would you leave that job? But I knew better because I had a good upstanding job.
Yeah.
But it was like, and I'm not saying this company's the be all end all. There ain't nothing better than that. I'm not saying that. But like you said, you get your time back, your life back, and you get taken care of. So it's like, it was pretty neat to look around how much other people appreciated what they had.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to see what you notice when you sit down at the table Monday, Yeah.
Well, that's like my physical. I walked in, for that physical, it was all the same job. But every dude there was so stoked to be there, but the nerves of them going through a physical was there also.
Blood pressure was up.
Everybody's blood pressure was up. But, because
They're excited, right?
They wanted
They're
it
like,
this
"Oh."
long. I mean, I had a Red Bull, which was stupid before the thing, but I got there early, and they're like, oh, yeah, you can go back there. And I was like, oh, no. So, but it's just, those guys have been trying for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I talked to one kid. He was fortunate enough to get it. He got it in 4 months. But all the other guys there, he was on the gas side. He was there for 5 years in PG&E. And he's been applying to get on the electric side for that time. He's never had the chance. Finally got it.
And he's internal.
He's internal. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think orientation, I'll keep an eye out for that.
Again, well, if you've seen it there, you're going to definitely see it,
I'll
the
probably
orientation
see it
deal.
for sure.
That's cool,
For
man.
sure.
And everybody, you're in different things, so maybe you hear it. I know people are always going to gripe at some point in a job, just someone doesn't work hard enough, or you hear those little things, but really no one complains about their job. I haven't heard anybody yet, and I haven't been very long, but I haven't heard anybody complain about their job. They may complain about situations.
Yeah.
But I've worked jobs where people were like, we couldn't stand our managers, which I know, again, that can happen, but like you're mistreated. You're not. I feel like here, it's just different. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it.
Just a different culture.
It's just different culture, dude.
Yeah.
Again, it's not perfect.
No. You got good times, you got bad times.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Thankful. But anyways.
Super thankful. So.
Well, we'll wrap that up. Maybe that will encourage somebody else hearing the story, because maybe maybe you're going through a tough time, or you're trying to see through a glass darkly, or maybe you're in that situation, and we're not all done with it either. You don't know what else is going to happen in life that could be that same situation, because we know it will. I mean, not really look forward to it, but we know it's this life. So I know there's been a few of you guys, you listeners, that have been facing some things, going through some things, and saying that you like the podcast and appreciate them and like to hear these stories because it's encouraging. So I thought these would definitely be good topics to talk about. And when you hear the process of somebody else, it kind of builds your faith a little bit and kind of encourages you, and just to keep pressing on, because I could tell you what, having a friend base around you, good family, good support from brothers and sisters in the Lord, and having good friends that we've grown up, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's
I've leaned on it. How many times have I leaned on you, right?
Well, vice versa, right?
And vice versa. How many times?
Vice versa.
We all lean on each other,
Yeah.
and that's in those moments. That's when you like get that strength to make it another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brothers,
huge.
sisters, right? It's like an extended family, really.
Mm-hmm.
But people that
It's hard to believe not everybody has that,
I know.
and that's why I hope this platform right here.
encourages somebody.
Can-
You know what I'm saying,
if
to
you don't-
find somebody, that group of people, right?
Like, Travis's name, my name, what we look like. You've seen on some videos or whatever, but you don't know us personally. But I hope through this, I feel like people get closer through listening. I know when I listen and follow people a long time, you almost start to think you know the person. And I hope this, reaches out and makes you think and encourages you. And I've told listeners and people before, like, I'm praying for them, There's specific people, like, I guess I'll say it right now. Peter, leader, if I said that correctly, he's going through some hard times, man. And I know I read your messages and read your emails, and we're praying for you. I've called your name out in prayer because you know, I know you got family around you, but you know, he's facing some physical difficulties pretty bad and in the hospital a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like he says that he leans
Thanks
on
for
this a lot.
mentioning it, man. I'll be praying for him too. You know what I'm saying? Because
and he's met us at the refuge one time.
okay.
So
If
were
I see
you
him
with us when we went to when we got ripped off and those game wardens took our spot? Was that me, you, and Thomas? And
That was we were up there in Sac area.
yeah, and the game wardens wanted to watch somebody, so they took our pit. And Thomas
No, there was
had a
some
top
news
resi.
thing, right? There was some news.
Yeah, but they don't have to take a top pit.
No.
So, anyways, that's where we met him. Do you remember meeting
Okay.
that?
I'm not sure.
That was when.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, yeah. Said he's been in the hospital a lot. So, and there's a lot more stories we don't even know about. We don't hear about. I don't get messages, but it's like your to me your story today. I would encourage me. It does encourage me.
Yeah.
You know.
Enjoy the process, but don't lose hope.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a perfect time. God has a perfect time for somebody.
Yep.
Yeah. Enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Even though it's hard, but enjoy the journey.
Yeah. Make it day by day. So
Make it day
thanks
by
for
day.
listening, guys, and thanks for sharing that, Talon.
No problem.
We'll see you guys in the next one.